Hello everyone, my name is Jared Hirata, and this is Mustang Mondays. As you can see, my good friend here, Chris, is not able to join us today. That is because Chris has transferred out of Cal Poly, unfortunately. So let's just take a moment of silence to just remember Mr. Roeder for our past 4 episodes. We're sorry, Chris, that you can't join us for today. But anyway, so this is Mustang Mondays, episode number 5. Today is January 8th, 2016. So it's been a while since one of our last episodes. It's probably a year ago. So just a refresher, going up to date till today. So I am a 4th year graphic communication student. I was originally a computer science student coming in as a freshman and switched majors halfway through my 2nd year. And here I am, being a graphic communication student. So today I want to talk to you about basically what I believe, kind of my perspective on transitioning from freshman year to sophomore year to junior year, and finally I'm right now halfway through my senior year. And then I also want to talk about housing for your 2nd, 3rd, and 4th years. And then finally, kind of talk to you about some of the clubs and activities that I've been a part of that has helped me kind of get ready for the real world. So those are the topics for today. So not so much for kind of like freshman level stuff that we've kind of talked about in the past, but more so kind of the transition into your 2nd, 3rd, and 4th years, and possibly 5th year while you're here at Cal Poly. So let's get to the first one. I actually want to talk about kind of the transition. Transition from my freshman year through my senior year. And one of the last episodes we talked about the change of major. And so now that I have finally kind of went past that and now fully into my new major, I want to talk about just some of the things that I kind of encountered. So when I switched majors, it was actually really, really difficult. I originally wanted to switch into the College of Business when I was a computer science student. I realized that when I went and applied, the College of Business required a 3.5 GPA, and I was in academic probation before that, and it was just nearly impossible for me to do that. And so I went ahead and decided to switch into graphic communication, which I kind of felt a passion, fell in love with design and kind of front-end software design. And so just that little, that transition, trying to go through and changing majors was really just kind of difficult. But I talk about it in the other episodes, so we'll leave it at that. But going into my 3rd and 4th year, so I've had 2 internships. My first one was at a company called MindBody. I did that 2 years ago, and I was a user experience designer. This past summer, I worked at a company called Workday. They make software very similar to Oracle. So if you're a Cal Poly student and you log onto your portal, there's something called the Student Center. So when you see Oracle Student Center or PeopleSoft, that's the kind of software that I now work in. But I would say, so I know as a freshman, it was actually really difficult to switch from kind of that semester feeling with high school, transitioning to the quarter system. It's just really, really, it's very difficult. And I would say I'm kind of like an average student, and I found difficulty managing my time. But throughout my time here at Cal Poly, I managed to really really use my time wisely when deciding to study or going out with friends. And so you just get this nice balance. And so now as a senior, I feel like I really nailed it. It really sucks now that sucks that I never nailed the quarter system before. But now here I am. I'm really just really kind of walking till I graduate. So it's pretty awesome. So another thing that it's kind of comes second nature to me as a fourth year. Um, I mean, I feel like I already understand like what's going to happen during the class. I'm going to get the syllabus. And by the way, for books, so books can be pretty pricey. And my set of advice for you as a student is don't buy books prior to the class unless if there's, for some reason, you get an idiot professor that decides to give you work before school actually starts. Well, then you're not in luck there. But I would definitely recommend, even before going to class, just making sure when the professor goes over the syllabus, a lot of times the professors won't make books requirements. They'll be like recommended books for you. And so that is just a great way to try to save money. And also another great resource is Quizlet. It's a site that allows you to make digital flashcards. And I actually use that quite a bit for a lot of my classes. A lot of previous students that have taken the class will make study guides for midterms, finals that you have for certain classes. So I would check that out as a resource. It's been really helpful for me for studying for certain tests. Some professors actually know about it. They're like, oh, please don't do it. Please don't look at other people's notes. But I find, students here at Cal Poly they're very bright. They know what they're doing. And for the most part, I do trust what they put for studying. So including with what you have in class, I would definitely recommend using that as another resource. So next I want to talk about housing for your second, third, and fourth year. So I know I went and touched on the dorm situation and how to choose roommates in a previous episode. So I want to talk to you about kind of transitioning from that dorm life to your second year, possibly living in an apartment, and if all goes well, living in a house. So my second year, I went ahead and decided to live in PCV. And PCV is a great kind of stepping stone from the dorm life. So PCV, there's several different configurations. I think there's a 4-bedroom, 5-bedroom, and 6-bedroom configuration. And we were in the 4-bedroom one, and it was actually pretty small. I mean, you're in an apartment. Although each person gets their own room, I don't know, it just didn't really feel like home. You still have to follow the university dorm and residential regulations. So, there's like no pets. There's just a lot of different regulations that really kind of sucked as a second year, and it was kind of bullshit when, we're becoming adults and, they're still treating us like little kids. But that's Cal Poly, and it's for safety reasons or whatever, that kind of crap. But moving on to our third and fourth years. So I would recommend to try out and go off campus, and because it's been kind of the greatest time, one of my best decisions here at Cal Poly is moving off campus. So I was actually really lucky. One of my roommates had a connection to a house really close to campus, and so I live with 4 guys, so 5 including myself. And I have to say, a home is a home, and it's really awesome that I can go home and call it like home. Like, I don't know, the dorms my first year and my PCV the second year, I really didn't call it home. Just like, oh, it's just the place where I live. I'm in SLO, but deciding to move off campus and living in the city, it's great. It's like as if I lived here. I could call it home. That's what I'm just trying to say. And what's really cool is, if you have a car, you don't have to pay that damn parking fee that you have to, like $500 or $600, whatever it is now. So that's also a really cool perk. And what's also really awesome is, you have the slow transit, allows you could just take the bus to campus. It's really easy. Although, just disclaimer, the slow bus system, I don't know if it's just slow or it might be just the entire US and how our transit system sucks, but the bus is always late. So usually if the bus were to be on time, it should get to campus like right on the hour, so that way you have your 10 minutes or so to walk to class. the fucking bus system is always like 5-10 minutes late, so it's not even worth it taking the bus now. It's like, dude, I mean, I can't even get to class. I can't even use your system because your bus system's always late. So they need to get their shit figured out, you know. So sorry about my ranting and stuff, but so finding a house can be very difficult, and you could actually just find apartments as well. I mean, it's a little easier. But so right now is January, and if you're a second year, or first year, second year, or third year, and you're trying to look for something, I feel you should start looking right now in January. January to like March, I think is the prime time to get your roommate situation figured out for the next year. Really just figure out the possible places that you want to live, because all that kind of takes into account. It's a really big decision. You know, you got your classes and you got you know, all your schoolwork and stuff, but making sure that you have that balance between school and then going home and really having a good roommate situation and a good living situation, you know, that's a huge part about life. And I think when, like, it's really scary because, you know, I have only another 6 months in school and I have the real world coming up, and it's kind of scary because I'm actually looking for housing right now. I actually have a job lined up in the Bay Area, and it's just really scary, just kind of like moving off and like, oh my God, I have to get my own place and all that crap. But you know, it's really a time. I mean, I would seriously recommend try getting a house. It's like the best decision you'll ever make. So yeah, that's that about housing. And if you have any other questions about you know, some tips and other things that you might want to know about housing, just let me know. Just comment on this video, and I'll try to get back to you, you know, as soon as possible. And so the next thing I want to talk about is kind of the things that I've done as a student to get ready for kind of the real world. So right now I'm a senior, and when I had that little hiccup with my major change, I realized that I really needed to get an internship. And a lot of people are like, oh my God, should I get an internship? Is it really worth it? Totally. So internships are essentially for you know, experience in a field that you might be interested in. And the great thing about internships is, you know, you get to try it out. If you decide you don't like the job that you were doing, then that's okay. You just had it for that one summer and you kind of learn from that. You're like, oh, well, I didn't really like that. Let's try something else. Or maybe you get to the internship and you do a job, and then there's like another sector of a company, or there's some other people that are doing something different, and you really like what they're doing. You kind of get to find out about that kind of stuff. It's actually really, really helpful. So I did an internship, like I said, 2 years ago when I was in my sophomore year. And then between my junior and senior year, so this last summer, I worked at a software company up in the Bay Area. I absolutely loved them. And so I went ahead and signed a full-time contract with them. So I start next September, which is really exciting. Really scary at the same time. But I would definitely recommend going to the career fair, talking to people, learning about what you want to do. Because I know I was actually really fortunate that I switched majors and found a passion in my second year, which is pretty early on. I mean, it really sucks that our parents and we have all these people that are pressuring us to really figure out what the hell we want to do with our lives. It's really difficult, and don't get down on yourself. And sometimes I did with, oh my God, I need to find out what I need to do. But guys, you're only 18, 19, 20, 21 years old. It's really early in your life, and I just realized that, it's fucking insane to figure out oh, I want to be this when I'm 18 years old or something. It's kind of ridiculous. So don't feel bad about trying to figure out. And if you really don't know what you want to do, that's fine. But yeah, definitely the internship route is a great way to go. I mean, that's the way I went, and it worked out fantastic for me. We did have a Mustang Mondays episode at the career fair, and so I think we give you some tips about what to bring at a career fair and what to do. But it's definitely a great chance to get experience in the workforce and possibly gaining connections and landing a job right afterward, which is really, really cool. So yeah, being a little bit wiser, I feel like. I mean, I don't know if I'm wiser. I mean, I'm kind of an idiot anyway. So, but I think for being a senior now, it's like, I'm finally going to be finished. So it's kind of a relief. So I mean, I don't have any plans to go to grad school, get my master's, because I've been in school for 16 years and it's fucking insane. Like, I'm done with this shit. So that's why I'm just kind of going into the workforce. And Cal Poly is great because they learn by doing. They allow you to do just that, to prepare you to go into the workforce. So that perspective on Cal Poly has been amazing. But so I guess lastly, I want to finish off some clubs and organizations that I kind of been a part of to kind of prepare, that have helped me get my leg in, get my foot into my internships. So the first one is entrepreneurship. So I'm really into making your own business and being an entrepreneur. So I was a part of the entrepreneurship club on campus, and I did a flurry of events, and I was actually an officer for the club. I was vice president for almost 2 years, and really try to help engage students in why entrepreneurship is so amazing and fantastic. And so I did that. I gained so many connections through that, and you just get a connection, and then you poke them later on if you need them as a resource. That's kind of how I got my first internship, was through one of the events called Startup Weekend. One of the participants actually participated in this event, and I was an organizer for it. And when I had an interview for this company, the interviewer, he was like, "You look really familiar," and I was like, I don't know you." He's like, "Yeah, dude, I think I saw you at Startup Weekend. Were you there?" I was like, "Oh yeah, I was one of the organizers," and we just kind of talked about that. It's just little things like that. So it doesn't have to be entrepreneurship club. It could be anything within a field. Like, I don't know. But that's a good example, I feel like. It could be anything, these connections like that just really make the most of, your job hunt, or when you do need something like that. So hopefully this is not one of our last videos. I want to at least videotape one more by the end of my senior year, so maybe May, June, I'm not sure. But if you have any other questions, or if you want to know something about Cal Poly, or just want to, just anything, just comment below, and we will try to accommodate your needs. So, and I'm a really needy person, not really, but kinda, if you know my roommates. But yeah, so I think that's it. But yeah, the next episode I probably want to talk about my senior project, because all Cal Poly students have to do a senior project, and mine's gonna be awesome. But maybe I'll talk about that, and then graduation crap, all that stuff. But yeah, thanks for watching. Have a nice day.